Let's start by drawing a circle in the center of our paper. Next, we're going to draw the visor part of the helmet, so I'm going to go up, over, and down. I'm going to do the same thing on the inside, but add some bumps on the top. Next, I'm going to think about how I can connect this to his body. So I'm going to draw a few bumps underneath too. One small one long one, and another small one on the end. Let's think about his shoulders by connecting a line from the head down around to the bottom of the paper. And we'll do the same thing on the other side as well. Next, I'm going to think about some details I could add on the astronaut's chest. I'll start by drawing a box. It doesn't have to be perfect. On the inside of this box, I could think about different details I could add, such as buttons or screens, different displays. Have fun with this. These could be organic shapes. They don't have to be exact buttons. For this part of the drawing, you could also draw your own shapes. You don't have to follow exactly along with what I'm doing. I thought it would be fun to write USA like a real astronaut would have. And even my initials and the year, identifying the astronaut. I like to add wires to make it look a little more detailed. These would connect to the rest of the astronaut's spacesuit. I'm going to draw two lines up here on his shoulders for his straps. I like to add these stripes to add a little dimension to the spacesuit. So I started with a curve and then filled it in with straight lines. The more funky shapes and lines you draw, the more this astronaut starts to look like a real astronaut. I'm also coloring in some sections black with my Sharpie. Let's add some wrinkles on his arms. These are just lines that kind of go up and around. On his shoulder, I'm going to draw the American flag too. Most astronauts have a patch like this. Some more lines for his arm. I really want this drawing to look like the real material that an astronaut would have on their suit. So the more lines like this, the better. Here I'm just drawing a random symbol. You can make up any symbol you want. Maybe this is for the space program. You don't have to copy it exactly, but all these little additions really bring your drawing to life. His body's done. I'm going to move on to his backpack, so I'm going up, over, and down, right behind his head. I'm adding some wires coming out, connecting it back to the suit. And I want it to look 3D, so I'm adding a line across the top. And I'll bring it down through the side like that. I want some details on his backpack as well, so the same way we drew the wires and the screens and the buttons, I'm going to do the same thing on his backpack. I think that looks pretty good. Let's move on to shading. We have this black and white drawing, but I'm going to add charcoal around certain areas to really bring it to life. I'm using my charcoal and I'm just outlining areas like his head. I want it to look 3D like a spear. So after I finish outlining, I'm going to use my finger to rub it. I don't want my astronaut to be black, so if it's too much, I can always erase it. After I finish his head, I'm going to outline the sides of his body and his arms so I could shade his arms inward towards the center. After I finish shading the body of my astronaut, I need to add a lot of darkness behind him. I want it to look like his backpack is behind his head, so I make it really dark over here. And here we go, the finished astronaut. If you want to add another detail, you could use a metallic silver Sharpie and color in a few of your buttons. Thanks for watching, and I hope you had fun drawing an astronaut.